Hello folks, and welcome back to the plot. You wouldn't believe it with the sunshine now, but the last few evenings we've had some quite heavy showers and the soil is quite heavy underlying. So I haven't been out on the allotment much. The big plan is to get these 3 beds done, which is going to be the onion bed for next year. But more importantly, I'm trying to get my garlic and elephant garlic in. So that's hopefully, if the weather holds out, I should get them in for the weekend. As most of you know by now that Graham had a visit from intruders, and the consequences was he lost quite a few tools. And now one of my favourite tools is exactly the same as the one thing as Graham has lost, only this was a sentimental value. It belonged to his grandfather. I think it's these 5-prong cultivators. And when something like that happens, it brings it home to us that we really are. I think we get in this little bubble where we just plod along and leave things lying around. Well, this has certainly shook me for as far as I'm concerned, and the plan for me now is to mark my tools up with the stuff like this with a wooden shaft. I'm going to try and brand my initials in somewhere, and where that doesn't allow, I'm going to part mark the metal, engrave it or something. It won't stop the people from stealing your property at the end of the day, but what it does do, it makes it far more easier to identify your stuff should you come across it in the future. Anyway, in the meantime, I'm going to carry on trying to get this bed ready, so I'll see you in a minute. Good afternoon. Them few days of, well, evenings of rain we've had has really loosened the soil up, and it's made weeding so much easier. In fact, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, nearly 5 beds weeded. So there's a little break from the weeding. I'm going to get the rotavator out, tickle the top, put my pH meter in, check the soil level, and do manure as and when it's required. I'll just show you what I've done. There's 1 bed done, and there's 3 over there, and there's just 1 on the back. There's just a little bit of more work to do on that, but that's brought the back of it. That's half of the bed's already done almost. So as I say, I'm going to run the rotavator over, and then I'll check the pH of the meter. I've finally got round to putting in my garlic, and I'm starting off with the elephant garlic here. Just got to break the cloves up. I'll be planting each one of these about 10 inches apart, 9 inches apart, and about probably 1 inch below the soil. I'm only putting 2 rows in this year as I grew too many last year. So let's get on with it. Just looking at the size of some of these cloves here, them to say them big is an understatement really, but I just hope that's a reflection of the crop we're going to get off later on. I've managed to get 8 in a row, and all I do is put the shell in, pull it back, let some soil fall in. By the time I've placed the bulb down, it's about 1 inch below the soil. Then I just cover it up and repeat it along the line. Morning. As you can gather by the attire, it's a bit frosty this morning. We've had a decent overnight frost. I'll just show you what the ground's like at the moment. As you can see, it's given it a fairly good light dusting with the frost on the top of the beds, which won't do it no harm. And this area here is where I managed to get the elephant garlic you saw me doing in the previous clip. I got 3 rows of 10 in the end, and I've still got my normal garlic to do, and hopefully once the sun's come up I'll be able to get them in today as well. Well, mate, I just wanted to show you this, and this is my little external voice recorder. It's a Tascam model, same as Aaron recommended. Actually, it's a really good recorder. Well, the thing I want to show you is this little windsock here, which is a kind donation I had sent to me from a guy, Sean Allen. He's got a good website and a good YouTube channel called Rambles with My Camera. He's a really good street photographer. So any keen photographers over there, nip over and have a look at his channel. Otherwise, you might know his other half a bit better. This is a lovely Lynn, Desert Plants of Avalon. But Sean actually made these out of a pair of earmuffs he got from a charity shop. And he kindly put one in the post and sent it to me. I've used it and he works a treat, so thanks very much, Sean. Anyway, the sun's just coming up over there, so I'll get another half an hour, then we can get some garlic in. These are 4 bulbs of garlic that I saved from last year. I'm not sure exactly of the variety, but the 2 I grew last year was Germidor and Thermodrome, so it'll either be one of those. So what I need to do first is break the bulb up into the clouds, and then we can sort them out for planting. It's amazing just how many bulbs you can get from one clove. But just before I plant these out, what I should do is tidy each one up by just taking the top off of there with the scissors. But the golden rule, as with all onion bulbs, cloves are there, is try not to damage the basal plate of the bulb, because that'll then get a bad start. Good morning all, and as you can see from that opening shot, we've had a fair decent frost overnight. I think it's still below minus at the moment, and I don't know what I'll be doing today, but I don't think it'll be a lot. Frozen solid. As you can see, the parsnips have had a decent heavy coat in the frost, so I'll be starting to harvest those quite shortly. I'm just looking over there. The sprouts have got a wide cover on as well, but to be fair, I've been harvesting those now for about 4 or 5 weeks, but there's still quite a few on. It looks like the marigolds have curled the tails up for the last time, but I've had a really good show of those, so I'll be pulling those up and composting them. That little bin over here, on I think it was Friday the 4th of November, a few of the allotment committee got together and we collected some of the rubbish off the shed we cleared out earlier. We had 3 big incinerators going, nice big bonfires. We had a few little drinks to keep us warm, and over a period of 3.5 to 4 hours we shifted some rubbish. This is the potash of the wood that's left. I'll be riddling that, putting it through a sieve, and then I'll be applying what's left onto one of the beds. A quick look in the thermometer of the greenhouse on the plot, and you can see there it's currently 2.5, but last night it went down to minus 3.6, which is really probably the worst frost we've had this year so far. As you know, the frost is most welcomed by the sprouts and the parsnips, but looking at the sprouts there, as I said, I've already had a few pickings off, as you can see by the stuff missing off the stems, but I'm going to leave these now for another 2 to 3 weeks to put a bit of bulk on, because they seem to have grown at quite a different rate. The ones I picked off the bottom was quite bulky. In fact, I thought they was going to blow at some time, but these seem to be okay now. And in the meantime, I've got some, believe it or not, inside stems there. I've got some cauliflowers which will probably be ready, and you can see some nice cabbages forming there. But the thing I'm most looking forward to, as I said earlier, is digging one of the parsnips up, and if all goes to plan, I'll be doing that ready for Sunday lunch. A thought has just crossed my mind, just walking down now to the IBC tank. I've still got some water in there, and with this cold weather now I think it's wise to drain it and not risk it getting the frost getting to it, freezing it and causing the tank to split. So I think I'm going to do that now. This is a tank and it's probably a quarter to a third full still. I've got a hose connected to it, as you can see there, which goes all the way down under, well, not underground but on the floor into the greenhouse. So I'll go in there and start draining the water off. Looks as though I may have spoken too soon and the water's already frozen in the pipe. Hopefully during the day that'll thaw out, and so sure it does. I'll be getting the water out of the tank as quick as I can. While we're still in the greenhouse, there's just one thing I'll show you, and this is the very last one of the year. Not bad for the I think it's the 8th of November today, and that's the very last cucumber. Thank you, plants, you've done me well this year. Another one I spotted which slicked the net is this year's last of my tomatoes. These are the Crimson Crush, which is allegedly blight resistant, but hopefully looks like they're a bit frost resistant as well, but I don't think they're going to last another night of minus degrees, so I'm going to cut them off and take them in. Another part of the big clean-up is to chop down these autumn raspberries, which have still got a few fruits on, but we ain't going to take no more. Now I never actually chop my raspberries down right to the ground this time of the year. I probably leave them about 9 inches high, then probably into the February I do cut them down then into the ground level, but over the winter I tend to just leave the stalks up. Another benefit of leaving the stalks above the ground is one of the plans for me to do this year is to reshape the raspberry canes a little bit, and obviously that will help to let me know where the plants are. But as with all pruning, as you're aware, make sure you've got a good sharp pair of secateurs so you get a clean cut, otherwise you can introduce disease into the plants. Just before I finish this one off, I'll show you the worm bins. Now obviously with the cold weather the activity is going to slow down, and I've given them a feed probably last 3 or 4 days ago. Chopped up veg, tea leaves, coffee grounds, a bit of rock dust, cardboard, shredded paper, fruit, and last thing I've just put on the top is some comfrey leaves. Now normally I chop these up with the shears to get them fine, but I thought if I put them on the top there, spread them out, it lacked as an extra bit of insulation. I've got my carpet back on top. The other thing I've got an old compost bag here, and that there is full of shredded paper I put through the shredder in the house. And I put that on top of that acts like a bit of a duvet for them. And so with the cold weather coming now, I shall be getting the carpet round the outside just to give them a bit more insulation. So that's the worm bins. These here are plastic industrial mats they use around machines in factories and stuff like that. I managed to get hold of these if a guy was giving his allotment up who I used to work with. The plan for these is actually to put them between the beds on the paths, but first I must renew all the bark chippings, but that's another job in the future. Like I've got all these jobs in the future, and I think by the time I get round to doing them all, we'll be back into spring. Well, the excitement's got the better of me. I can't wait no longer. I'm going to get one of the parsnips and have a look at it. not bad, is it? That's Gladiator F1. A parsnip's part of our stew for tonight, so next thing I'm going to try is one of these Swedes. The variety is called Swede F1. Oh, plastered in white ply. But that'll do. I'm going to call it a day for this one. Thanks for watching. There's still plenty of jobs to do, and while this cold weather's going on, as long as it stays dry, I'm happy to be out here. So until next time, I'll see you later. Bye for now.